the Steelers game. Steelers off of the bye, and the weather's pretty much the same in the Northeast states here. It's like 37 to 41 Fahrenheit, and the wind is non-issue. A non-issue. Let's talk about the line with Saints, Steelers. Saints 3-6, 1-2 on the road. Steelers 2-6, 1-2 at home. We're at Acrisure Stadium, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We're gonna go over to the line history here with this one. The Saints really surprised me last night with how putrid they looked. Steelers open up plus 2.5 minus 106. They're now plus 2.5 minus 109. From a total standpoint, open up at 41. It's now down to 40. We go over to the cash here in this one. We have 3,215 tickets in, 45% of the tickets and 58% of cash on the Saints. And then 83% of tickets, 99% cash on the under. Saints on a short week after that ugly 27-13 loss at home to the Ravens last night. They were just beaten in every facet of the game by a Ravens team missing a bunch of offensive starters, missing Mark Andrews, missing Gus Edwards, missing Bateman. It was shocking. Ravens went 9 of 15 from third down. Saints were 3 of 11 on third down. Saints had season lows with 243 yards and 13 first downs. That's all they had. Baltimore had the ball for 37 minutes and 47 seconds of the game. Andy Dalton was 19 of 29 for 210 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He looked awful. Olave was the only one who looked dangerous. Watching Alvin Kamara struggle was, I wasn't sure what he was going to do, how he was going to play. There was a very close friend that died on Thursday in Houston from Migos, and I wondered. I just didn't know. I didn't know what he was going to do, and he was terrible. His lowest output in the last 5 games, ran 9 times for 30 yards, caught 3 passes for 32 yards. They could do nothing. The first 4 possessions for the Saints ran 13 plays because they were just doing absolutely nothing. It was just horrific. It couldn't have been any worse. They lose Eric McCoy, their center, helped off the field with a calf injury. They didn't practice today, so we don't know. Pete Werner carted the locker room in the third quarter with an ankle injury, and then Marcus Davenport left in the second half with a calf injury. So here you have a team on a short week, and I know that you don't want to sell low, but they looked awful. They looked beaten up, and they looked awful. And then you have a Steelers team where we expect TJ Watt to be back on the field, coming in off a bye. Their defense has been so bad, but they're going to have William Jackson, Kazi's going to be back, and TJ Watt's going to be back. The Steelers coming in fresh off a bye week. They were last seeing that ugly 35-13 beatdown at the Eagles. Pickett 25 of 38 for 191 yards in the pick, lost a fumble. The defense couldn't get any stops, but is that going to change here? I can't wait to hear your breakdown. There's so many moving parts in this game. Saints, Steelers, take it away.
Yeah, had this under Monday. Short week for the Saints. It finally seems to caught up to them a little, the Andy Dalton experience. It was okay for a few weeks, but man, they could get nothing going, and it's maybe the wide receiver injuries / Kamara playing with a little bit of a heavy heart there, and Andy Dalton just kind of generally sucking. It looked pretty rough at times, and I mean, I bet him to throw an interception as one of the props, and it took long enough. He was dying to throw one. It seemed like can't be backing the Saints as a road favorite right now. The way this offense looks with Lamar, MIA for a long while here, but man, even with extra rest, the quarterback situation is just as bad in Pittsburgh. He hasn't been good. He's been very careless with the ball. And yes, a lot of the interceptions have been in very negative game states where he's forced to get a little more aggressive and has to throw, some dangerous passes. But yeah, I want no part of this game, Jimmy. I have 2 offenses I absolutely can't trust, and a couple of defenses that are now missing some of their best pieces. Just no thanks whatsoever on this one. I mean, this is 2 completely untrustworthy teams. If I had to lean anything, it'd be the Saints. If you just said, hey, all things being equal, but laying points with them on the road is just a big no thanks. So yeah, and as somebody's pointing out, Gerald Jones in the chat says, decent teaser piece for the Steelers. Yeah, in what world do I see the Saints? If the Saints score and win by like double digits, it's on the back of like a Pickett pick six. It doesn't feel like this is an offense that's really clicking, really moving, and we have a total of 40 and a half. So that's a beautiful spot for a teaser leg. So nice teaser look, but yeah, this is a big no thank you.
Do you expect TJ Watt to play?
I haven't really seen one way or the other. And if he, I don't know what the reasoning would be to rush him back in a season like this where you're clearly out of it. Like just he's a part of the long-term plan. So hopefully they don't start him, honestly. Like I like him enough where I hope he just takes enough time to get fully healthy. So yeah. I have two teams I don't trust and want no part of this game. Much better looks in the slate than this one.
Preston says that he wouldn't bet the Saints with his enemies' money. He's a Saints fan. It was really funny having him on the stream last night. It's so. I mean, he knew it was coming. He didn't go in there with high hopes, but does the rest advantage just not count with the team that you can't trust with Pickett at quarterback? Is that what it comes down to?
It matters because it's still a good coach. But honestly, I worry sometimes that he's maybe not an elite coach anymore, and it stinks for him not having a quarterback. And yeah, I know Ben wasn't good towards the end of his career, but just having a good, reliable quarterback for 15 years and then drafting all those good wide receivers, it made it look easy for Tomlin. He's always had good defensive pieces, good coordinators. So, yeah, it's not a team I trust right now. And the bye's baked into the numbers. They should probably be a 3-point dog to a lot of teams here, and yeah, it's not a spot I want to back either side.
Brady said, I said last week the Ravens were going to thrash the Saints. This is the week you bet them. He says, where's the money shaping up? It looks like the early sharp money is on the Saints. 45% of the tickets, 57% of cash. I was hoping that I would be led towards the Steelers, but I knew that obviously I have a bias from what I saw last night, and that was the Saints play as bad as they could possibly play. All right, there you go. Saints, Steelers, no action here from us. We move on to afternoon action.